But I think that that's what makes me who I am, is that I have the ability and the mindset to write.
Early on in your career, how much writing did you do of your own material early on?
Early on, I wrote mostly all of my stuff. Trust to tell you, I'm gonna tell you. I gets busy. A lot of the time, a lot of the time, I used to write raps, and Big wouldn't even want to write it for me because he'd be like, "She could do it." I used to ask him, like when I used to get lazy, whatever. I used to be like, "I don't feel like finishing the 8 bars. Can you finish them for me?" He'd be like, "What? You stupid. If you don't get in that room and finish that daggone rap, I'm not doing it." And then I would go in, and that pushed me.
You want to know something? I am nice, Wendy. Yes. I get busy with the pen. And he knew that even back then. On my album, I wrote mostly everything, and he helped me with a few songs, of course. And I love that because now to this day, all of the energy, all of the melody he had, everything that he taught me is inside of me now.
She allegedly carried on an affair with B.I.G. until his death by drive-by shooting in 1997.
Big ain't supposed to got shot, period.
Hi, I'm John Norris with an MTV News breaking 4-year-old rap artist known as Notorious B.I.G. was shot early Sunday.
I'm here in downtown Brooklyn, a place where normally on a Sunday afternoon people are shopping, and this is a somber moment and a sad day in hip-hop.
He just kept saying, yo, Big got shot. They say he's dead.
When Big passed, it was like she knew that she was gonna have to grow up overnight.
For a long time, she didn't want to do anything. She didn't want to rap it.
And I was going through so much emotionally that it was hard for me to come back into the studio and deal with all the craziness that was going on.
To tell me, well, Biggie's passed now, so I guess, Kim's not going to make it.
A lot of people were saying, yeah, well, Biggie was the instrument behind all the talent anyway.
People always thought Biggie wrote everything for Kim. That's not true.
She had to make a decision. Am I going to be a hip-hop memory, or am I going to continue in Biggie's legacy?
She knew that she had to get herself together, and she had to keep Big Dream alive.
She was kind of forced to stay strong, continue to entertain, and just be Lil Kim.
Without these ghost fighters, y'all bitches is dirty. Frank gone, and I'm still doing it, honey.
I think a lot of people didn't think Lil Kim could, make it successfully without Biggie.
Hip hop, hip hop, hip hop.
She changed her whole MO, her style, everything.
Now you have a label out here.
It's called Queen Bee Records. I'm trying to grow up and take more interest in my career. I'm trying to get more into the business side of what I'm doing. So I'm just trying to get out there and do everything right this time. I want to be more involved, and that was how my whole renegotiation went down for my new deal. I'm just trying to get out there and do everything right this time. I can't say that my first album was, the best. A lot of people liked it, but I know that there's a part of my album. Well, I know my album wasn't for everybody. And, my second album, I can't say I'm going to stray away from it. Like Big said, his second album has to be different from his first album. Because in his first album, he was talking about robbing people and stuff. But if he talks about that in his second album, it'll be flat because he don't have to.
I made my own path. What you think? I still rap before the cash.
The ball was in her court, and she had to do whatever she had to do to stay on top.
Pushing the boundaries, and she was getting more and more famous.
Miss Kim.
She started becoming like the Black Madonna of rap music.
I'm not just a rapper, I'm an entertainer.
She proved to the world she could do it on her own.
Notorious K.I.M., the name alone meant a lot
to Kim, and the fact that I'm still doing my thing after the passing of Big.
And Kim was already accepted, then they went with Kim. So Kim was the breadwinner. Kim was now in Biggie's position. Kim was she was the matriarch of the family.
Well, after Big died, we had a plan that when Big died, Kim album was out at that time. You know what I mean? Kim was hot, Kim was smoking. You know what I mean? So after Big died, we made this plan like, yo, you're going to be the next up to bat. You got this shit out right now.
She was very proactive in the recording of the second album. There was intense pressure. How do we follow up and match the hype?
She released another hit album and countless collaborations with other artists.
I'm real happy with this album. This is something where, this album I get to show my creativity and my versatility and my rhyming skills, since a lot of people thought Big wrote all my stuff. He showed me how to rap. He taught me. He gave me the formula. And all I did on this album was run with the formula.
Work. She was a workhorse at that time.
For her to get through that album was real magnificent because it was hard.
The recording of that album, I think, was a very cathartic process for Lil Kim. She had a torrent of emotion running through her.
Biggie was her inspiration, and she got a huge picture of Big that would take up the whole wall in somebody's room. And she just looked at it, and she'd be thinking, you know, and she'd be writing.
She proved to the world she could do it on her own.
In 2003, she was feeling invincible on the eve of the release of her third critically acclaimed album, La Bella Mafia.
Now everyone would see how versatile I am.
I remember that being one of their biggest beefs, is that, you know what I'm saying, like, not everybody in Junior Mafia.
So he just wanted to bring them up and have them doing something. He knew half of them couldn't rap.
It's like, you know, Kim stood her ground and did what she had to do. You know what I'm saying? She, Papa gave her the plan, and she stayed to it. That's the best I can say. She stayed as close to it as she could.
She wanted everybody under her label, and it was never going to work like that.
Junior Mafia wasn't a priority, I guess, because I guess it was a Queen Bee label. I guess that was self-explanatory. It was about Queen Bee.
When you're an artist and you have a record label, it's kind of hard to take care of your artist, because you were so busy worrying about your own career that you can't have full focus on the rest of the artists.
Everybody was still together. It was still the whole crew, and that takes money to keep the roof over their head, to keep cats fed, to buy the weed, to cop the cars, to post bail, to get lawyers. All that shit costs money.
Had niggas walking around with holes in their sneakers.
Did all I could do and I took all I could take. This is it. Crossing me was your biggest mistake. It wasn't enough that I split 20% of what I make. Wasn't enough that I cut niggas half of what I bake. Ain't enough that I almost lost all my bread. Bailing niggas out, keeping a roof over our heads.
Two sides to every story, but mine is much deeper. We fucked up by letting the bitch be a leader.
Got the word, man, I couldn't sleep. All this over bitch beef. Yeah, that flow tough, but you know, man, the bitch weak.
Enough is enough, I wash my hands, I'm done with it. I ain't playing with you motherfuckers, come with it. Keep the fam together, God knows I tried. But shit ain't been the same since B.I. died.
Kim is a dope artist. You can't take nothing away from Kim. She stepped her game up, like she was the first bitch in hip-hop to really go there.
His third album's gonna be crazy.
In 2003, she was feeling invincible on the eve of the release of her third critically acclaimed album, La Bella Mafia. Unfortunately for Lil Kim, however, it was the sound of doors closing that she'd be hearing 2 years later, when she was convicted of lying to a grand jury about her friend's involvement in a 2001 shootout outside a radio station in Manhattan.
Some serious jail time. Lil Kim was found guilty of lying to a federal grand jury during the investigation.
She copped 1 year and a day in the Philadelphia Detention Center. and turned adversity into advantage by scoring her own TV show called Lil Kim, The Countdown to Lockdown. Her time in prison was spent watching her fourth album, The Naked Truth, go to number 6 on the Billboard 200 charts.
Came in and upped the game in the rap industry.
A lot of people didn't think Lil Kim could, make it successfully without Biggie.
She proved to the world she could do it on her own.
I want them to know, like, I'm really not who y'all probably thought I was all these years.
Come on, Ma, I do this. This is what I do. Biggie crowned me Queen Bee. You can't take that away from me.
He was like, I'm going to be here for a while. Whether you want me to or not, I'm here. And I'm here to stay.
Bitches wanna front on me, know not to come to me. Keep 10 blocks, 10 rocks up in front of me. Like they spraying something, like they saying something. Gets my bark going like a DMX or something. My reach is like roots, stiff 84. Yours is like a Vanda, 77 slow. Thanks to Tyro, I'm 32 and 0. When I catch a knockout, bitches bring the cops out. 2 from 5 spots, I tear the rocks out. Pop the tops out, then clear the spot out. Nigga or bitch, you don't want no problems. My revolver is a quick problem solver. Don't ever think I'm slipping, bitch, I ain't dumb. I carry a stun gun inside of my hair bun. Hating ass niggas, I treat you like a bitch. Strap on a fake lip and stick it where you shit.
Bitches ain't shit.